We are live Thursday night. We are Iowa Hawkeye talking Iowa Hawkeye sports podcast. We have a Facebook page of the same name. Please consider signing up there. If you haven't subscribed already, press that subscription button right in front of you right now. Hit the like button too. That really helps. And then just kind of share it and do leave some comments throughout the night. Last podcast, it took me half the night to realize that we were losing. We didn't get any comments until I realized that something I did wrong. And hopefully we'll get comments tonight. So somebody comment and say it works. Also, I wanted to point out I've been advertising it for a week or two now. And look who's in the middle here. Paul is back with us tonight.
Hey, everybody. It's good to be back.
Looking fit, looking healthy.
Feeling good.
Yep. And I also want to thank Kyle and Rick for all their contributions to this show. They've kind of let us know that they'll be hit and miss the rest of the summer. They won't be on much. Rick is an outdoors person and plans to be outdoors and enjoying the weather. Kyle's got a wedding coming up. He's got his daughter's softball game, and he's got his own little podcast streaming thing going. I forgot what it's called. Kelvin, do you remember?
I would have no clue.
Okay. Anyway,
I can't even remember what this one's called. So
so we're glad to have Paul back because they were kind of feeling the need after Paul and Jason took some time off, and speaking of Jason, he will be back with us next week, next Wednesday morning, when we interview the head softball coach, Stacy Mae Johnson. We're going to do it next Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central Time, live. And so if you can't watch it live, that's fine. It'll be out there and replay all over YouTube and Facebook and stuff, so you'll be able to watch it there. But Jason's agreed to come on and help do this interview because Jason knows more about softball than any of the rest of us do on here. So, yeah. So be looking forward to that. All righty. So let me get us back in one piece again, one row.
Yeah.
There we are. Okay. So we got another jam-packed show, and it's summertime. We always got some news to do, and Jan Jensen announced, the University of Iowa announced, we've got 2 new players signed for the women's basketball. Ella Strong, how do you say that?
Stromdahl.
Okay. And then Bria or Cambria. I forgot her last name already. Medina, yeah. Doc says, hello, fellas. Yeah. Hi, Doc. Hello. Good to see you, buddy.
And a lot of these guys are reporting that we got 2 portal people. Actually, actually, Cambria is a portal person, and the other girl is just a high school recruit from Sweden. So.
Yep. Yeah. And Kelvin, what can you tell us about it? Start with Ella. Tell us what we got with her.
All I know about Ella is she's 6 foot tall, and it sounds like she's a wing, and that she played. It's pretty interesting. They put up her stats that said 1 point a game, blah, 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 or whatever. But she played in this league. That was her FIBA stats, which was against, she's only 17 years old playing against all these older players internationally. But she over in Sweden, she played in a league with people from 22 to 30 years old, and she averaged like 6 points a game and 3 rebounds and everything. I just know that she looks athletic. I don't know a lot about her. I know more about the other girl, but I think there's not a lot of people out there on Ella. This girl will come right in, and if she's not really great the first year, if she's developmental, maybe she isn't developmental. I don't know, but she'll at least be equal to like Tegan Mulaney was last year when she didn't play much and come in and just help out a little bit. So
Yeah. And then we got this other girl, Cambria Medina, who honestly is from Knox College. I don't know where it's at. You said it's in Illinois.
She's from Tucson, Arizona high school, and it was kind of stated that she could have went to the University of Arizona, maybe, but she come to Knox College in Galesburg, Illinois, which is pretty close to me down here, Joey Range's hometown, and 1 hour and 45 minutes from Iowa City, because her two cousins, she wanted to play with her two cousins from Arizona that were going to Knox College. And of course, she's been a very high scorer at Knox College. And her first year, she scored a lot of points every year at Knox College, but she's progressed. Her first year at Knox College, she couldn't hit a three-pointer. She's like 11%. She had the same shooting percentage as Callie did. And then a year ago, her shooting percentage from three went up to 26%, I think. And then this year, it went up to 36%. And her free throw percentage has done the same thing. This year, she's got it up to 86% free throw percentage. And I think that's about kind of the rundown on her. 5'6". You know, I don't know if she'll be an end of the bench player or somebody that'll help a little bit. Division III, I don't know. She obviously was really good at Division III. You know, the time will tell on both of them.
Well, as I said earlier, she had a chance to go to Arizona and pass it up, like you said, to play with her cousins. Mm-hmm. And so I'm thinking that, you know, she's probably a power forward type player, but hasn't played against power forward competition. Her highlights are this past year, 614 points, 23.6 average, 4-point assist, 5.3 rebounds, 87% free throw shooter, second in 3D in scoring, D3, I mean, Midwest Conference Player of the Year, 3 times first team all conference, all region, 9 first team. She comes with a lot of accolades, but like I said, that is at a lower level. And here's what Jan has to say, and I will just read the quote on her. We are so excited to add Bria to our program. Her energy and gratitude to be a part of our family is the coolest part about her. She had a great deal of scoring success at Knox College and has an immense amount of appreciation for our sport. Her mindset and work ethic is what set her apart for us as we went through the process. One of the things that I think, you know, is she may not see a lot of minutes, but with her free throw ability and her ability to hit the 3-point shot, being a shooter, we might want to see her, you know, Jan may want to put her in the game at the end, you know, when we need those points. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. One thing I wanted to point out about her 3-point percentage, it went up this year, but she took a lot less of them. She only averaged making 1 3-pointer a game. So she didn't attempt very many, like, I don't know what it was, and she only took them, you know, when she was wide open. You know, she's not the type that's gonna do the step back 3 with somebody near, you know, but especially at the Division I level, probably. But the thing that bothers, really, Jan announced these two last week at that Polk County thing. And she said, we'll be getting 2 more next week, like that. She didn't say 2 more visiting. She says, we'll be getting 2 more next week, like that. And then she said, and I don't want to dump water on, I hope Bria's as good as Molly Davis, you know. But her quote on the point guard said, she'll come in there and just help us at practice because we need a point guard at practice. She says, our 3 primary ball handlers will be Danny Carnegie and Chit Chat and Taylor Stremlow. They can all handle point guard duties, switching on and off, but she'll be more down at the end of the bench and help us in practice and stuff like that. But
I guess I missed that. Okay. Here's Bria's quote. She quoted today to Kyle Huseman, who will probably have an article on her interview that he did with her tomorrow. It's an insane opportunity, Division III to Division I. I'm not going to be begging for playing time or money. I'm here to play basketball. I'm here for the experience. And she is just a 1-year person.
And you know what? Iowa's a high-end program. It's not like she's going Division III to Division I to,
to Wisconsin.
Huh? Yeah, Wisconsin.
Like she's going to Wisconsin. She's going to one of the elite programs.
Yeah,
in the Big Ten.
It's a different experience, and actually playing at full arenas and things like that.
Yeah. She also mentioned her fiance named Josh. And I kind of wondered when she kept mentioning him and going to Iowa, I wondered if he was from up here or something. But anyway, I guess we'll find out. But.
Okay. Yeah. So Doc said he was hoping to see Ava get some help down low. What's he mean by down low?
Those big people.
Okay. So we got Amari Whiting coming in. We've got McKenna Velisco coming in. There's two help right there.
Yeah.
Oh, Whiting is 5'11".
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she's gonna be playing out.
So was Cydia Falter, and she did just fine.
Well, I don't know. I think he's worried about Ava getting in foul trouble and Layla getting in foul trouble, and then, that's what he's worried about. I think we'll just play a 4-guard offense like we did when Kate Martin was the senior and try to survive. So,
is that the 4 out and 1 in?
Yeah, 4 out. That's 4-guard offense. So.
Yep. That's what Jen told Lysico at the second iClub outing, that's what her intention is, to go back to that offense that they did when Caitlin and Kate were here.
We, like Doc knows, we do not want to play against a team that has a bunch of big people next year. So
yeah, Doc says double team on her. I'm assuming on Ava is what he means. Yeah, and she will get a lot of double teams, so everybody's going to have to step up, or Ava's going to have to figure out how to get through that double team.
Iowa knows what to do there. We did that with Cesano. They double team Cesano. Cesano gets the ball and pops it out to the 3-point line, and Carnegie, Chit Chat, and Stremlow bury 3-pointers. We'll take 3 points. So.
I'm hoping that we do a better job on the 3-point shot this year.
Those 3 are our best 3-point shooters. They ought to all be around 40% or above. So, well, they should. Right. Carnegie improved to 36% last year. Chit Chat was 46%, and Stremlow was about up to 40% until that last game. But
yeah, she was doing pretty good, and last couple games, I don't remember her doing much in the other game either. Okay. This might be a good place to talk about Callie Levine's interview that she did with, was it KCRG?
Yep.
Okay. And how she came about at UNI. So I do know that it wasn't a surprise that she was looking for playing time. Jan did talk to her at the end of the season about what she needed to improve on. to get more playing time. And I think Callie must feel like she was. I don't want to put words in her mouth because she didn't say it, but she must have felt like she was where she needed to be on the work she needed to put in, and she just wanted to look for a place she could fit in and play. And she considered UNI, Wisconsin. Well, could you imagine 3 Iowa players ended up at Wisconsin? The Iowa Northeast. And South Dakota, but she chose UNI after just one visit. She feels like it's a fit there, and so in case anybody wonders what she looks like in UNI purple, here's what she looks like. So
best of luck to her.
Yep.
Yep. I'm going to support her no matter what. I wish she were still a Hawkeye, and I wish she would have got the playing time. But I will follow her at UNI, even though I know that not many UNI games will be on TV. And I did.
I wish them 3 would have went to Wisconsin. That way, Dean would have only had to look at one box score. I know these guys are going to be reporting it every week. You know how each one does. And Emily, good luck to Emily at Syracuse.
At Syracuse, yeah. I wanted to point out that Emily went to Syracuse. Not bad. I wasn't sure where she was going to end up. So good job with her and her agent and finding her a decent home. So we'll be following her this year too. But we got 3 Iowa players who left who are coming back to Iowa City this year because Wisconsin's going to come back with 2 Iowa players. That should be interesting. And of course, UNI will be there, the cat. And UNI will be coming to Iowa City as well with Callie. So
have fun playing against Danny Carnegie, girls.
Paulo Roberto says, Jan
I
just
guess
finished the roster at 11. Maybe it's still possible to get a 12th player. A big is there. Any chance that a 6'3" Canadian Georgia Ferguson who visited will still be signed? What do you think, Calvin? You read all the recruiting stuff.
I know that Lysandra Barrett was all over Georgia Ferguson, but I never heard that she actually visited. That guy, if he knows that she visited, but I never heard that. Jan just said we don't have any NIL money to spend. Bigs cost too much like that.
Yeah.
In Polk County thing. And
yep. That's what I heard today.
Yeah.
I heard today that they're going to cap the roster at 11. And so they got plenty of room to get 2027 players in here. Because you'll have the 2 seniors on the team leaving, and
both them seniors can come back if they. Sounds like just before I got on here, there was on 3 there was a guy that put up a little article that some council of Cal University something or others voted to pass that 5-year plan. And
I thought it was already a done deal.
No. And this committee that passed it doesn't make it a done deal. You know, they are not going to make that a done deal till all these players that graduated this year, like Hannah Stolke and stuff, they don't want these people that just graduated to be eligible for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that when they started the school year, that's not the way the rule was, and they want it to just start, this fall. So
yeah, okay. All right. Well, anyway, to answer Paulo's question, Jan did say that they're done. They're done. They're not adding any other players. 11 is fine. They think they can make that work. And they can make that work mainly because they use the men. They have 6 or 7 men that help practice them, and so they don't need as many women for practice as the men do. I was told today.
I'll make a prediction, Dean.
Yes.
If there's a tough couple of high school girls players that are going to college at Iowa, already enrolled. If they got any heights to them, I bet Jan will invite them out to be walk-ons.
Okay, well, maybe.
Well,
Okay.
it makes sense because you could have three injuries to some of your good players, and if some of these new ones aren't ready to play, you're going to need extra bodies,
Yeah.
in games, because them guys that are practicing, the guys that are practicing, they can't play in the game. So anyway.
Well, Jan did say that the NIL money did dry up, and so she has no more money. So if she were to sign anybody, they're just going to have to come for free.
Yeah.
And know that they're going to be a bench player. Like, you're just basically a practice dummy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any other comments on the women? I know I put down Jan's comments, and I forgot what she said at the latest, but I think it's mainly a repeat of everything that she said the week before.
Yeah. I bet she would take another player if it was a free player. But were you going to cover what Fennelly said?
Oh, why don't you bring that up? I did not have that on my list. I forgot about that.
That was it. I'm just real quickly. He said 2 weeks before the season ended, all of a sudden, all the players' agents were calling him, telling them that they were going to probably go into portal, but they wanted a lot of money to stay at Iowa State if they stayed. And so he was all prepared for it. He said it was weird talking to agents all day instead of game planning for your games, and he just said that what Audie Crooks got was a little more than what his total NIL money he had, and he had the top post player in the transfer portal, Audie Crooks. He had the top power forward in the portal, Addie Brown, and he had the third or fourth rated point guard. What was her name? Jada Williams?
I think so. Yeah, I think you're right.
So that's a lot of money, at Audie Crooks at over $1 million, 1.4 is rumored, and I'm sure them other girls put them together. They probably got a 1 million too, or maybe more than that combined. So
yeah, but with all that talent, it makes you wonder why they didn't perform better throughout the season. They had lofty expectations and they did not reach them. Iowa had low expectations and they exceeded theirs. Too bad we didn't beat them.
Of course, Addie Brown was injured part of the season, wasn't she? But anyway, yep, you're right. I don't know what Paul's thinking, but he's quiet.
Paul, you can chime in anytime you want, bud.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying the banter here.
He's like, right now he is imitating the net at a tennis court, and me and Dean's balls are going back and forth.
He is actually the net because he's right in the middle.
Yeah, if our ball hits the net, you got to call foul.
Okay.
On a serve, so net serve. So.
Doc mentions that Audie Crooks got an insane amount of money.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm afraid I can't speak intelligently on the transfer portal of women's basketball.
It doesn't stop me and Dean.
No.
Hey, and then I had on here something I wanted to talk about. CeCe's engagement to Connor, but guess what? That was a lie. It was fake. It was fake news.
It's like, and there's a lot of lies out there. There's a lie today that I helped crush on three that Caitlin won't have anything to do with the University of Iowa anymore. And I said, well, she won't even talk to the women's coaches, and she won't do this and she won't do that because of the McCaffrey family. And I said, well, she keeps sending money to the University of Iowa. No, she don't. She keeps sending shoes. No, she don't. So I put up the video of her sending shoes to the men and the women this year, and her thanking them on Instagram and everything. No problem. Enjoy them and all that stuff. It's like there's so many lies out there you don't know what to believe anymore. But,
Yeah.
So true.
Well, that's a good segue into the story about Fran. And I did not realize that the issues with Fran went deeper because both Scott Dockerman and Chad Lassico revealed some issues that they had with Fran himself. And so the interesting story that it didn't just stop with Murphy or Dolphin. We already knew that there was an ongoing issue with Dolphin.
And Bobby Hansen.
I did not know about Bobby Hansen. I just learned that today.
That's what. Oh, me too. I didn't know if you heard it or not.
Maybe Fran is just a cantankerous guy.
Yeah, his wife is the worst.
Yeah,
according to them reports,
Yeah. Well, we got one more thing on the women's player here. Paulo wants to talk about. We definitely don't want that to happen again. But last season, with 14 players on the roster, 6 had injury problems, so 11 seems like a very low, risky number. I'd feel more comfortable with 12. Okay.
Well, I think if the right senior transfer came along, we'd be totally fine with that, with it being just a 1-year commitment.
Yeah, the thing that I couldn't understand with Jan's comment that she was out of NIL. Well, if the right player come on, all they'd have to do is have some speaking voice come on three's thread or something and say, "Hey, Jan needs help."
Yep.
And I'd send money. It wouldn't be a lot, but a lot of people send money.
Yeah.
We
get the money.
We tried helping with Lucy Olson. Thank God for Kirk Ferentz,
I didn't know that was public knowledge. Okay. All righty. Okay, let's get back to the Fran situation. In case you guys didn't hear, Keith Murphy, the sports director at WHO in Des Moines, has been emceeing up until 8 years ago, been emceeing the Coaches versus Cancer thing, or he'd be emceeing all 4 major coaches, have a program, and he would introduce them and everything, and they'd come up and speak and stuff. Sometime that season, 8 years ago, Keith Murphy did a thing on what he calls a sound off. I can't remember that bit that he does on his show, but he does a bit where he kind of like editorializes, and he editorialized how Dockerman and Murphy both found out that Gary Barta extended Fran's contract and gave him a raise and didn't tell anybody.
Murphy's Law, it's called.
Yeah, Murphy's Law, and didn't tell anybody. And so he basically went off on, not that Fran didn't deserve it or anything like that. He didn't. But that wasn't what it was about. He wasn't trying to get him fired. He was going on how Gary Barta and Fran weren't forthcoming.
Because they hadn't announced it in 2 months or something.
Yeah. And it started out when Dockerman was looking at some figures and realized that the figures that he'd been told that Fran had been making and what his contract was totally different than what he actually found under the Freedom of Information Act that he did. And so that kind of started the ball rolling. And so Fran just kind of said that he would not be involved with Coaches versus Cancer anymore if Keith Murphy was the MC. And of course, Margaret, sitting in the audience, was heckling Murphy, and then got up there and said something about, he's trying to get my husband fired. I got to believe that maybe Margaret's the problem in that family, and Fran's just follows suit because he's too scared to go against Margaret.
Fran is just like every other husband in the world. You know, you do what your wife. You don't buck your wife too much. So, well, it's the truth. I mean, any of you guys ever been married? I mean, it's like.
Well, I have been, and so has Paul.
It's like your wife will ask you, "Where do you want to go eat tonight?" I don't care. Where do you want to go? Well, you pick, and then you pick, and then they go, "No, we're not going there."
No.
Yep. That's like that.
So anyway.
Yeah. So anyhow,
but I don't think it was that big a deal. The true story about the extension for Fran was worked out before the season started, and they were just never. And then Barta had prostate cancer, so he never got it done, and until late December they finally signed it. And they said that, well, we don't want to interrupt the season with an announcement. We'll just wait till the season's over to announce it. Well, that ain't that big a deal, you know. Like Ben had a damn agreement with Beth, you know, and they just announced it. You know, Kirk Ferentz was hired as an Iowa coach, and they announced that he was the coach at Iowa, and he went 2 years. And Kirk never got around to signing his contract, you know. To me, that ain't a big deal. But the way the McCaffreys turned on these people, Dolph, Bobby Hansen, Murphy, Dockerman, that is god-awful. If I'd have been the athletic director, I don't know if I'd have fired him, but it'd been damn close. Fran had that one, and then it was... He signed that contract, Fran's one bad year out of his last 12 years. He had one bad year until the last year, but the next 4 or 5 years for Fran were his winningest. I think he finished third, and fourth in the Big Ten. You know?
But here's something that and I'm glad that Doc put this up here. It was a cancer fundraiser. His family went through this with their son Patrick on cancer, having cancer. And you would think that they would take that cancer thing a little bit more seriously. You know, Fran walking away from it, not wanting to participate if Murphy was a part of it. Margaret heckling the guy and seeing the cancer thing. If anything, you know, that family experienced cancer, you know.
I think she had cancer, if I remember correctly.
Okay, but anyway, that family experienced cancer, you know, in a very personal way, and the way they just kind of, I just think they kind of mocked it and just kind of like, you know. But Murphy doing the thing he did, he stepped away. He stepped away for 8 years and came back this year to MC it. And Murphy said he knew that he would probably get asked back, and he didn't know. He and his wife discussed it whether he should accept going back, and he decided to accept going back. But to his credit, he kept it to himself what had happened for 8 years. It wasn't until his sidekick on the podcast got it out of him, because he knew about it and he was mad and it was time to bring it out. And then Keith, after he told the story of what happened, he said he was glad that he finally got it out. It needed to come out. You know, and that's on his podcast. I forget what their podcast is called. Talking Sports and More with Murph and Andy. It's toward the end of their podcast. And if you want to hear about Chad and Dockerman's and Bobby Hansen's issues with Fran, you can also go to their podcast that was just on today, and see. It's about the last 20 minutes they talk about it, and it was quite interesting. And I'm glad that they finally. And I wonder how many more Fran stories will come out by the media people as it get further and further away from Fran. But you know, Fran himself was a cancer and it needed to go. Yes, go ahead. Paul?
Yeah, were there any highlights from that?
What do you mean highlights?
What?
What do you mean? I'm confused.
Well,
The
the story that you were talking about.
Oh yeah.
We tried to highlight them while we were talking there.
Yeah, we did.
about him, Margaret hating Dolph and Bobby Hansen, and they weren't allowed to travel with the team anymore, and they couldn't eat with the
Team.
Yeah, if they had a team meal or something where the announcers were supposed to be, they had to wait for the coaches and team to get done eating, and everybody's cleared out, and then they could come in and eat. Like really stupid. It was like it sounded like a black discrimination deal in the South.
Well, Dolph had asked a question to Owen Freeman. Mm-hmm. They just come off a 3-game losing streak and wanted to know what they were going to do to turn things around. Mm-hmm. And Margaret blew up and you started yelling and screaming. I don't know if they heard it over the air or not, but she just went and chewed Dolphin out during a break. And it got to be so bad that they had to bring in Clear Channel people, wherever that
Learfield people and
Learfield, basically to stand guard over her. Mm-hmm. And she just, what'd she say? She felt like what? I can't remember. Like she thought it was funny that they had to stand guard over her.
Yeah. It was, but she was the same at Hawkeye games. It was kind of famous for the things she would do at Hawkeye games. I think there was a game or two where they escorted her out or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, one more. I think it. Like I said, I think it's really terrible. But I'm ready to talk about today. Yeah. Men's basketball today is pretty damn good. So
yeah, it is. One thing I want to bring up is that they're having a really great turnout lately at these iClub things, better than they have in the past. Mm-hmm. And they're attributing it to the excitement surrounding the men's basketball program. As you guys know, there's been a lot of apathy the last few years against the program.
And Chad said it, the Polk County one. Yeah, it was at the Polk County one, I think. They said they had to turn away 130 people. And
that was the Carroll, Iowa one.
Carroll, Iowa, 130 people, and everybody wanted to see Ben.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Going back to another Fran story they talked about today. During one of the iClub things there, they were using this example where Kirk Ferentz was after 45 minutes, he was signing autographs, talking to people, shaking people's hands, taking pictures with everybody. Mm-hmm. Fran talked to a few people and went out and sat in the car and waited for the others to get done inside. Yeah. No wonder people didn't like Fran. He wasn't personal. Yeah. It's hard for me to imagine Kirk, good walking around the fans, shaking their hands, talking to them and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, they say every one of these reporters, like Doctorman and all of them, said that, normally Fran was a very nice person. Mm-hmm. But I think it's the effect, that, anyway, I won't say more about it.
Okay. Doc says, didn't Tanya get her nose in the muck when Alford was a coach? I don't remember.
Oh yes. She was famous around Iowa City for going in and grabbing a bunch of stuff at the mall or in these fancy stores and then walking out without paying for it. She called it the discount. The Iowa coach's discount, which is, there was never an Iowa coach's discount for anything in Iowa City. But
I just think it's something that they carried over from when Alford used to play for Bobby Knight, because Bobby Knight probably didn't have to pay for anything. In
college towns, the people that don't have to pay for anything are the athletes. If Chuck Long had a good game, he'd bring the offensive line out to a bar, and they'd go, all of Chuck's drinks are free. So Chuck would just go up there and get drinks and take them back to the offensive lineman.
Yeah.
We get
Go
6
back
shots.
up and get some more, so.
What'd you say, Paul?
Let me get 6 shots.
Or
Yeah.
or a pitcher, Give me 2 pitchers. I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
But
Okay, let's bring it to modern day. Now that we've gotten Alford and Fran behind us, let's talk about Ben's new contract. He got 1 year added to his contract. Got a raise. And his buyout, if he were to leave this year, would be $500,000, right?
his
And
buyout
it goes.
this year?
No, I said if he had a buyout this year, would it be 500,000?
Oh no, $5 million.
Okay, 5 million. That's what it is.
Yeah, it goes
5
down to
million. It
zero
goes
by
down every
year 6.
year until the last year of his contract, 2032, which would be 0. But that would be 0 because that's when his contract would end anyway.
But it goes down $1 million a year each year.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
Yeah. And although Kelvin has mentioned that he thought that the bulk of it was getting some guaranteed NIL money, the thing that is Dockerman and Lysico didn't even mention that, and I didn't know if that was really a part of it or not.
He wouldn't have signed his contract without it, but it's not going to be on paper anyplace.
Okay.
Because because the school don't pay any of that. The only thing that's on paper is what the school pays the coach.
Okay.
That has to be public record, even though no tax money is used for it. It's all nothing at the University of Iowa uses state funds in the athletic department. But the NIL is that's what us guys give. Ben ain't getting a big boost from us, I know that. But there are some rich people that really came rushing to the door when you get to the final 8, the Elite 8. So.
Okay.
Are we there?
Well, and considering all the sports and the amount of NIL money, it's not just basketball. You have football and wrestling, and the NIL has to get spread in a lot of ways, and that requires a lot of money.
Got to get out there and ask rich people, and hopefully even the little people donate a little bit. Next year the rev share is going to go up to 21.5, but hell, that don't even fund a football program. An elite football program. Everybody knows that. We see the numbers, and Michigan and Illinois are over 20 million just for basketball. Just think about that. If all Illinois used was their rev share, all they could use and not use under the table money and all that shit, they would be using all their rev share just on the men's basketball team. And I know Brett Bielema's getting more than 25 million for his football team. So right there's 50 million for Illinois. How you like that? On 2 programs. But
I think.
Go ahead, Paul.
This is it's off topic a little bit, but it's on topic in other ways. I think you've got the sports has to fix this NIL thing. It just does. I mean, it's a not sustainable model. This Wild West approach, and some teams, going crazy on spending, and I don't know. I almost see some type of like system where, they'll put it all into a big pot and then, let the schools just kind of divvy it out to all of them into, I don't know. There has to be something, but it's going to ruin fandom.
Your team's fine as long as you got a billionaire or two.
That's true.
Michigan, there's no financial crush at Michigan. They got the Larry Ellison that owns Oracle. Indiana's got 2 or 3 billionaires. It's not Illinois, but Indiana. One thing I heard today. Do you know one of the reasons that they want to go to the 24 team playoff?
I'm hearing you.
Okay. They are going to go to the 24 team playoff. It's pretty clear. But ESPN's contract for the college football playoffs, they get every one of the playoff games. That contract's only good up to 16 teams. They go to 24 and then, hey, boys, we can go out and negotiate a new college football playoff contract.
Streaming,
and it'll probably literally be not twice as much maybe as ESPN's paying, but maybe 1.5 times as much
easily.
Yeah. Well, Doc says we need a couple oil tycoons that are Iowa fans. Cyhawk C Money says NCAA just needs to adopt an NFL model with salary caps. We're going to have to do that sooner or later.
The NFL, how the NFL does that?
How?
Paul was almost right. He says sports has to correct this. It rhymes with sports. It's courts.
Yeah.
The courts created the NIL problem, not colleges. Not the players, court rulings.
True.
It's been to the Supreme Court. The only way to fix that, and you can't pass legislation, the NFL has something. The NFL has the real solid labor agreement salary cap of all the sports because they have antitrust legislation that they got in 1930 or something.
Yeah.
And Congress and the president have to pass antitrust, sign it, and the courts have to approve it. That's the only way you can do it. You can't have a strong NCAA head to say, "Oh, this is the rules," because the courts will say, "No, they're not." That's why the NCAA doesn't buck whenever a court rules that says, "Oh, these junior college years don't count, so you get to play 2 more years." The NCAA, how come the NCAA allows it? The NCAA ain't gonna fight that decision and spend $50 million fighting it and then lose
again.
Yeah.
Well, let's steer this conversation back to men's basketball.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the schedule. We've got. I don't know how some of these games got verified, but non-conference game, they travel to Alabama, travel to Xavier. I believe Iowa State comes to Iowa City, and Creighton's in Des Moines. Those are the 4 non-conference games that we know about. And Calvin, you're the one that said Alabama. Where did you get the Alabama?
That was on the On3 thread.
Okay.
A guy said he had a little quiz for us. He says, "What SEC team are we going to play?" And he goes, "It starts with an A." And then people were, they knew it was Arkansas, Alabama, or what was the other? Auburn.
Yeah.
So, they were all going to guess and everything. And he says, "Oh, my second clue is it ends in an A too." So, but I never heard it was at Alabama. I never heard
Arkansas ended in an A?
No, it ends in an S.
S.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay.
Oh, geez, Dean, what are we going to do with you? Anyway, but I never heard that it was an away game. I don't know. Where'd
I
you
think
hear
it
that?
said on the I believe it said on the thing SEC away game.
Mhm.
Maybe it's an away game for the SEC.
Well, I'll tell you what, Fran's not. I mean, not Fran, but Ben's not shying away from putting some big boys on his schedule.
Well, they're putting some little ones on too.
Yeah,
He
I'm sure he is.
He gave $100,000.
Eastern Illinois, I think, is on there.
And he gave Eastern Illinois $100,000 as a athletic budget to win a game by 60. So yeah.
Okay, and so the Big Ten home and away schedule is out. There's no times or anything set yet, but at home we get Indiana, Maryland, Michigan State, Minnesota, Oregon, Penn State, and Washington. And then we travel to Illinois, Michigan, Northwestern, Purdue, Rutgers, UCLA, and USC. And our home and away games are Nebraska, Ohio State, and Wisconsin. Guys, that road is awfully daunting. That road schedule.
Life in the Big Ten.
It's a Big Ten schedule. Plus, you put in Alabama, who I don't know. I'm sure they're going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Xavier, I'm sure they're going to be okay. Creighton, I don't know, but they're usually a power. Not last year.
Last year. And they're under a new coach this year. And, of course, as we know, Freeman transferred out. I don't know where he went, though.
Well, Freeman didn't do anything for him last year. And then Iowa State, they're perennially a top 10 team. You know, I seen on 3 thread, a guy said that we're going to play 22 quad 1 or quad 2 games.
Yeah, that's what it says here.
The good news is, even if you in the Big Ten, if you went 10 and we play 20 games, if you went 10-10, when you lose a quad 1 game at home, it don't hurt you in the NCAA thing. If you play a close game on the road, it actually helps you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could go 10-10 and still be like a 7 seed in the tournament. It's like our schedule was not quite that strong last year. Yeah. You know, what were we, a 9th or 10th seed, Dean? Do you remember?
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Well, you know,
we were a 10th seed. We were 10th seed because we beat a 9 seed in the tournament.
Okay.
There's going to be a lot of new faces on the basketball roster next year. A lot of new faces, and you know, it's going to be a different game without Banks and all those guys, and so
yeah. I think Banks will be back.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Paul, I got to disagree with you because we only lost Bennett Sturts for sure. Banks, as of now, we've lost him, but he might be coming back.
Alvaro.
Yep.
Okay, Alvaro, yeah. But he was so inconsistent. Imagine if he'd have been consistent. Maybe he would have got the money he wanted to stay.
We're going to I think we'll have a better team next year myself, but I'm no expert. But just because we got 3 4-stars that didn't play this year. Kuhn, Harris, and Trey Thompson.
Yeah.
You know, and Banks is going to be back. Ben almost said it the other day. You remember the last podcast I said Ben was being coy with Tyler?
Oh, yeah.
When he said to Tyler Tashman, "Hey Tyler, how many we got on the roster?" You know, and Tyler said, "Well, we got 14." Oh, well, Tyler says we have 14. Well, Ben said at these iClub meetings he has 13.
Well, I got a question for you.
He says Nate Cook is a walk-on, and if he takes his play, he's got Tavian Banks' place yet. Mm-hmm. And if he takes Jake Cook's place with a roster player, he doesn't lose. He said he doesn't lose Jake Cook because of the grandfathering rule, like where Kirk now has 111 guys on the football team when he's only supposed to have 105.
Yeah.
because of that grandfathering walk-on rule.
Yeah.
But
Cyhawk says Ben won't be bogged down establishing himself in a new position. Ben will have a better system in place. Ben is the type of coach that he can make adjustments to what athletes he has on his team. And I've always said that a good coach won't get bogged down in a system, but yet will find ways to make his system work with the player he has. And I think Ben has showed that he can do that. We were very leaned on Bennett Sturts very heavily, but there were times, as Jason and I pointed out, when Bennett would have those few times on the bench, that the team actually showed that they could play without Bennett. You know, they weren't so heavily point guard heavy on that or off guard position. You know, depending on if Isaiah Howard or Kale were in the game playing point guard or not.
Mm.
So, okay, got that done. Anything else we want to say on the men's stuff before we move on to the football new coach?
let's see here. I wish I could see, but I can't see where they shoot today. So
Okay.
anyway, I think that's it. If I think of something, I'll just ruin the show and start talking over top of everybody like I always do.
Okay. Yeah. Cyhawk says, before we move on, he says Ben's team peak at the right times like Izzo's teams. Yeah. Yeah, Izzo, you know, that's the nice thing about him. He wasn't scared, and he's still not scared to play some really good Power 4 teams early in the season because he knows that at the end of the season during the Big Ten play, that's just going to make his team that much better.
It's a lot easier to be brave when you got a bunch of 4 and 5 stars playing for you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't think we're going to go out and take on anybody, you know, like a Duke or a North Carolina right away.
I know we mentioned the college football playoff, and I had something else written down here.
Okay, yeah, we're going into football now, so now's a good time to bring it up.
Scott Docterman said if we had a 24-team playoff, Kirk would have had 11 teams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Over the years. So there
I listened to that this morning.
There you go, all you Kirk haters and all
okay,
that
now Dockerman said 11, Chad said 9, and Dockerman he actually put it at 11, but 2 8 and 4 teams that he put in there.
Well, yeah, if we'd have been at 24 this year, we'd have been an 8 and 4 team in there. You know, Chad had one that wasn't in. And Docterman said, "What are you talking about? We were 10 and 2. It was the year we didn't have a quarterback."
Oh,
we won 11 games because the Cooper DeJean punt return.
Yeah,
that they didn't count. And one thing, I'll give you a piece of advice. I like Chad, good writer. Docterman's more of an expert, I think, on this. So, yeah, a 10-win team would go to the playoffs. But just think of that. Wouldn't it have been exciting to be an Iowa fan and 11 times you got to go to the playoffs and maybe upset a team, have a team game at home at Kinnick in the playoffs?
I think that 2002 team could have won it all.
That's what they said.
You know, that layoff really killed them, and then you know all the Heisman and all of those different things that factored into it. But
and in a playoff, we'd have got to play at home.
Yeah.
If we were in a playoff, we'd have played the first 2 games at least at home because we were in the top 4.
Right.
Yeah. We might have been in the top 3.
Well, it
was Miami and Ohio State played for the national championship, and then it was Iowa and USC. That was the top 4 teams. Mm-hmm. And we'd have been at home. Bobby Sanders would have played at home.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, there's something that Cyhawk says KF forever, and I know that Calvin would agree with that. Bob Hoffman
anybody ought to agree with that by now.
Yeah.
unless
Bob Hoffman
you're
says
mentally off.
Okay. Bob Hoffman says Banks' return is great news. I think he adjusted well to Big Ten play. I think we should put out there that he has not officially come back yet.
That's right.
Kelvin is just speculating based on things he's heard, but he doesn't know for sure.
It's not even things I've heard. It's that if other players came back for that same reason, he should be able to.
I agree with you, but he's already been declined a couple times.
I don't think he even applied till the season was over.
Okay.
According to him. But the Ben commented, but now we have it officially, we've asked for it. But it's like Kirk said the other day, he don't understand. Some SEC team, they got a player that just got a medical hardship, and he said Myslinski put in his medical hardship like a year ago. He says, I don't know if they treat Iowa different or what. He says we still haven't heard about Myslinski yet. You know? But I think Banks will be back. If he ain't, it ain't gonna kill us. But
yeah.
I'd take it. Boy, he's a warrior. You know, and
right.
he'd teach them freshmen a lot this year, you know. But,
all right. Cyhawk says nobody gets back up after getting knocked down like a Kirk Ferentz coach team. That terrible O-line ended up winning the Joe Moore Award once they grew up and were developed by KF. Yep.
That's a good point.
I love the fact I watching some of those clips come out of spring practice. You could just see Kirk in there just really getting after it on coaching the O-line. You can just see he's in his element.
Absolutely. And the players respond.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Bob says also if we consistently go to the college football playoffs, NIL money should go up exponentially.
I think Kirk can get along without near as much NIL money than 90% of the coaches can in the world. You know.
Okay. All right, let's talk about our new coach. Tom Moore or Joe Moore? I can't remember.
Tom. Joe's dead.
Yeah.
Joe died.
Tell us about the 87-year-old man who's going to be a special assistant and advisor to Kirk Ferentz and an offensive. What do you call it?
He's gonna help Kirk coach. Help coach. They said he's a special assistant to the head coach and offensive analyst or something.
Yeah, that's it. Analyst was the word I was trying to find.
Yeah.
Okay.
Iowa graduate.
Imagine
Mount Pleasant. He's from Mount Pleasant High School.
Yeah, I got to make a joke about this. Imagine bringing in an 87-year-old man to help modernize our offense.
Somebody was making fun of it on Facebook, and I replied, well, he says he's 87 years old, senior citizen. I'll be in a nursing home. And I said, well, Tom Brady disagrees with you. Because like 4 years ago, Tom Brady won the Super Bowl with an 83-year-old coach. So named Tom Moore.
Yeah. Didn't oh shoot.
Don't you?
Didn't he also coach Manning?
I'll tell you. He Mount Pleasant High School, went to Iowa, was a backup quarterback under the great Evashevsky. And then he graduated and he was an assistant coach at Iowa in 61. Then he went to numerous places, Georgia Tech, Army. His first place where he coached, he was Tony Dungy's coach at Minnesota. He was Tony Dungy's coach at Minnesota. And then him and Dungy, both about the same time, went to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he was the wide receivers coach. He coached two guys named Lynn Swan and John Stallworth from the rookie year for 3 or 4 years. And then they made him the offensive quarterbacks coach in 83 it was. So he coached Terry Bradshaw. Then he coached more. He went to the Vikings and he went here and he went there. And then he ended up being Peyton Manning's coach.
Yeah, which brings us to this little comment by Cyhawk. Will Iowa quarterbacks cry out, Omaha, Omaha?
I know what he taught. Peyton Manning said what Tom Moore taught him was, young man, you go back to the pass, back to pass, you go 1, 2, 3, and you get rid of the ball. You're either smart enough to know where you should know where the ball's kind of going if you can read the defense before the snap. But if they disguise the defense and you can't figure out where the ball should go, you can't really look for open people. That's the thing that people don't understand about quarterback. There's no time to really look for open people.
You're throwing to a spot.
And then look there, and if you get to the count of 3 and you're here and nobody's open, get rid of the ball, throw it away. That's the main thing that he taught Peyton Manning, But
Cyhawk says Forrest Eviseski has a place at Burt Lake in Michigan. I stayed next door on vacation 5 years ago and walked by the Eviseski sign out front. Eviseski's still alive?
No, he's been dead for 20 years.
Oh, okay.
Just like Joe Moore and Kirk Ferentz's dad both died in 2003, the same year.
Okay.
Kirk Ferentz's 2 biggest mentors, that was the year they upset Joe Paterno. Was the score 6-4 or something?
Yeah, 6-4.
Yes, that was 2004. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I was just gonna say this. I was gonna say the family must still have the place. The family has the place there. Thank you, Cyhawk. You've been full of information tonight. Kelvin, did you want to bring up some questions?
Yeah, I got two questions. By one question I asked on the messenger, and then nobody really replied to it. Last year we were really surprised that Cohen Entringer, the leadership council, votes on who represents the Hawkeyes as captains, and the captains go to Chicago on media day or Indianapolis, wherever it is this year, Las Vegas. Who do you guys think would be the 4 captains this year? And you know that it's not going to be just, this guy's going to be a star player, he's going to be the captain. Who would you?
Are you talking about the 4 that would go to the media day in July, or just
same thing? It was the same guys last year. Logan Jones, Entringer. Who else was the captains last year?
I thought they just took 3. I didn't know they took 4.
I'm going to say Lutmer and Montgomery.
I take Lutmer too. I think that one's a no-brainer. Vanami, Cyhawk says Vanami.
That's a good choice.
But is the leadership council gonna pick him over returning veteran Ostrenga, who was the captain last year?
Mm-hmm.
And then they replaced him when he broke his Achilles against Iowa State.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
So, captains could be a couple years in a row, but has Kirk ever taken the same players back-to-back years to these media days?
Josie Jewell's the only person in the history of Iowa. He was a captain as a sophomore, junior, and senior. Usually, if you're a captain, you don't lose your captainship, but the players vote on it now, so I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Doc says, how about Pieper, Lutmer, and Lee?
Those are good choices as well.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
How about another one?
I would maybe think Kamari
I'm thinking the
Bolton.
cornerback. Who's the cornerback? TJ Hall just graduated. Who's the other cornerback? LaShawn or Deshaun?
Lee and Watson.
Oh, that's it. That's it. That's who he's talking about. Yeah.
I think Trevor Lauk is another offensive lineman. Is the same age as Pieper, and he seems to be more of a vocal leader. But I don't know how the players vote, what they think. What goes into their voting. Entringer was always a vocal leader, and it surprised me he was the captain because he never started. But
I know Kirk likes to take seniors too. So, maybe somebody like a Kamari Moulton.
Yeah, but Kirk don't do any of the picking. This Players Leadership Council votes, the team votes.
Oh, okay.
Could we be could they send or pick a quarterback, because they haven't had one, I think, for a while, have they?
If one of them's a leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
RVZ. Okay, the other name that Cyhawk come up with that the others hadn't. Yeah, RVZ.
Yeah.
You think he's a leader? He just doesn't strike me as a leader.
I'm not there every day. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I know that the one of the guys that I picked this week and Paul picked, Montgomery, is a leader. A vocal leader, very, very articulate man and everything. And
you've got to be a vocal leader if you're going to play the mic.
If you're gonna call out the signals of the defense, that safety position back there where they think Lutmer's going to be, that was where Schulte always was. Schulte knew the defense inside and out. Him and Jay Higgins or Jack Campbell, they had to be the leaders, vocal leaders. You're right. So
yeah, RVZ leads by examples. Cyhawk. I always say Cyhawk.
That's because you don't like the Cyclone.
Are you kidding? I root for them anytime they don't play Iowa.
Yeah, sure you do.
I do. I mean, there are a lot of people who don't, but I'm not one of them.
I root for the Cyclones when they play in Iowa, except like the game after we play them in Hilton the first time in basketball and they screw us with officiating. Oh, the next game I root against Cyclones pretty bad. That just ain't fair. You guys, am I correct?
You are correct.
It's like Naziville or something.
Have you ever noticed with Iowa State basketball teams, no matter who's coaching, there's been several coaches over the years, but they seem to have the same type of offense. Run and gun, free Willy.
I don't know. I didn't really notice that, but Hoiberg and Johnny Orr coach the same type of offense, The guy that took Johnny Orr's place, he was a slow down guy. That guy from Louisiana coached the Bulls. Tim something.
I like this what Cyhawk says. He goes, I got my season tickets for the Hawks and I have an Iowa State degree. So does my cousin. So does my cousin Bill. Doc says Cyhawk in this household.
I kind of think we kind of hit with Lee, Luther, Montgomery, but we don't know who leads the team in practice. Some guy that maybe hasn't started yet. But Lee, Lutmer, and Montgomery on defense are probably the three top candidates. Two of them will probably get it. On offense, will probably be at least one of them linemen, and the other guy could be Ostringa, could be Vanami, could be Vanderzee. Right? I guess Moulton could be a leader, right? I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
I wouldn't expect either quarterback, but
or any of the fresh faces that are just coming in.
No. But anyway, that was one of my questions.
So, Kelvin, why don't you spring the other one on us to surprise
us? This one will take way more thinking.
Okay.
I'm laying out a thing where all the Big Ten football coaches, that's your group you got to pick out from.
Okay.
And we're putting them all at the same university, let's say Iowa or Minnesota or, something like that, University of Wyoming, whatever, where all these coaches, none of them have any money, big NIL to spend. They don't have any great recruiting base. who would be your top 4 coaches that you think would do the best consistently? And you know I got Kirk in my top 4, but I did not have him number 1. Go ahead, you guys. Unless
I'm going to let Paul.
you guys will need time to. You'll need to have time to think, right?
Yeah.
I mean, off the top of my head, I'd have Kirk in my top 4. I'd have Pat Fitzgerald in my top 4. I might even have him number 1. I mean, because the guy knew how to win at Northwestern. So he's the living embodiment of the scenario. They just happen to be in the Big Ten, but I don't think Northwestern has ever been a big NIL team. And so I think he'd be in his element.
Can you quickly think of your other 2 top 4? Just kind of quickly run through coaches you respect or something that might pop into your head. It might be a coach that has a lot of NIL now, but you have faith that oh shit, that Oregon coach, he can coach anyway, or that whatever.
I would say Bielema, and then I mean the obvious one would be Cincinnati.
Okay. Is that your 4?
That would be my 4.
Okay.
Cyhawk says he's taking KF all day, then Campbell, Ryan Day, Grubb, and Fritz.
Yeah, Grubb ain't in the Big Ten.
Yeah. Doc says Michigan new coach, Kirk, Patty Fitz, and I can't see the other one. It's covered up. Oh, M. Burt, which is what? Bielema, BB, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts?
He meant Brom. He meant Brom, not Grubb.
Brom ain't in the Big Ten either.
Yeah, isn't he Louisville right now?
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts, Dean? Or?
Well, I'm thinking about this, and I think you guys have come up with some really good choices, but it's real easy to look like a good coach when you got plenty of money to buy your 5-star players. So Ryan Day would not be in my top.
I would never pick Ryan Day when you couldn't even, all you had to do is throw a ball against Ohio State 2 years ago.
Yeah. I will go with Kirk as one of my 4 because of his consistency, and he doesn't have the money. I'm anxious to see what Fitzgerald can do at Michigan State now that he's away from Northwestern, because the requirements to get into Northwestern are so hard that he couldn't go out and recruit the type of players he really needed, and he was able to coach the team like nobody else. So I'll go with Fitz. Gosh. What do you guys think about Campbell, even though he hasn't actually coached a Big Ten game yet?
Well, it's your decision.
Okay.
It's your decision, I know you love Cignetti too. I didn't know if you were forgetting him or what.
I've not forgotten Cignetti yet. And even though Cignetti's getting some money, he brought in and he made the playoffs his first year with his boys from James Madison.
Correct.
And so that has to be considered, and he won at James Madison. So that guy can obviously coach. So I'm going to put Cignetti, Campbell, Kirk, and Fitz. And
would you, if you had to pick your number 1, 2, and 3, could you do that, or you're just not going to do that?
I couldn't do that, and I won't do it either because I don't know. But
did you go 1, 2, or 3 there, Paul?
I mean, for me,
he put Fitz as his number 1.
Yeah, I'd put Fitz as 1 and Kirk as 2, and then Cignetti 3.
Okay.
But you guys, one person we kind of left off who's not really doing a bad job. He's very consistent, just not as consistent as Kirk, and that's the loudmouth at Minnesota.
Yeah, I was thinking about him, and I'm.
I refuse to pick the lady gymnast, but
yeah, he's yeah, I mean,
I
he's in
think
a very similar situation to Kirk.
yeah, I don't think there's ever been more good coaches in our conference than there is now. I'll say that right now.
I'm not saying that some of those coaches aren't pretty decent, but
Mhm.
Oregon gets a lot of money.
You know,
Washington coach is doing pretty good. Ohio State gets a lot of money. Penn State gets a lot of money.
It's like,
you know,
I agree with that one guy. Michigan upgraded.
as I say, Kyle Whittingham's.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, that was definitely an upgrade over their previous coach.
Mhm.
I mean, because their previous coach, he ruined and brought down the program from what's his name had it, the guy out at Chargers now. Why am I slipping names tonight? God, I can't get
It's
any
getting
names
late.
right.
Yeah. Well, we never heard of the name Harbaugh before.
That's right.
Yeah.
So just call him Rodgers
okay.
Staubach.
Cyhawk says OBS to the hell with PJ Fleck. I like it.
That's right.
He says Fleck is a fraud.
Yeah.
Harbaugh. Yeah, thanks, Doc. I appreciate that.
I think he's a very good coach, and his teams, like Scott Dockerman said today, his teams are probably borderline the third or fourth best disciplined team, as far as not making mistakes and all that stuff for the most part.
Who's that?
Fleck. That's what Dockerman's opinion was, and I thought about it, and I go, yeah, they don't really make a lot of mistakes, but I wouldn't put him anywhere in the top half of the Big Ten, period.
Yeah.
But
Jason says, welcome back, Paulie.
I saw that. Thank you.
Can I give you my 4 now?
No, it's your turn for your 4.
Okay. My 4 is, who is my 4? Okay. I know my top one would surprise people, but I just think he's a great coach, and the things I'm hearing about him, this is his first year in the Big Ten, I think his name is Chesney, the coach at UCLA. He took Signetti's place at James Madison.
And he went to the title game at James Madison.
well, no, he got embarrassed playing Oregon in the playoffs.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because they jumped up a notch this year.
And I think we got a couple transfers from James Madison, didn't we?
We have one for sure.
I know we got Styles, the defensive back. Was Wilson the offensive lineman from there too? I don't know. But anyway, so he's my number 1. Kirk's number 2. Number 3 is obviously to me Signetti. And I can't remember. I never wrote. Oh, did I write it down? Oh, my number 4 is a surprise to everybody. But I didn't put Fitz in there because he's not a consistent winner. At Northwestern, he'd win the West, and then the next year he'd win 2 games. And then he'd win 3 games. And then he'd come back and win the
West again.
Win the West again. To me, he was sitting in Chicago, and Northwestern's not a poor university, but he coached when there wasn't any NIL. Now Northwestern's got a lot of NIL.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
They got Chip, what's his name, as an offensive coordinator. They got New Heisel, they're coaching quarterbacks. They're paying people a lot of money. And my 4th guy is a surprise, Seth Wallace.
Well, I like that. Like that.
Oh, you didn't stick with head coaches, huh? Okay.
I said coaches in the Big Ten. So.
That's true. He did say coaches in the Big Ten.
The guy you're talking about is Kelly from James Madison. He's a lineman.
His name is Wilson.
Okay, he says Kelly here. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
No. And he was an All-American as a freshman at James Madison. He could start at right guard if Allgaier don't work out or something. But I watched his film. He was a walk-on. And his brother is like a 4 or 5-star offensive lineman in high school. I think they're from Texas. And Iowa got him. He turned down going with his own coach to UCLA to come to Iowa because of Kirk Ferentz and George Barnett, and he's going to be a really good one at Iowa. And I guess he's got 4 years left if that 5-year rule comes through. But that was my interesting question I dreamed up, because Dean always says we don't have any subject matter anymore. And then there's 5 big news things that happen every day, and then we're itching to do another podcast.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. Guys, I think this is going to be a good place to wrap it up, unless you guys want to wrap up any football news or anything you want to add.
Oh, I wanted to mention how good Sturts was in the NBA Combine.
Okay.
They had the shooting thing where they took 120 shots or something, and he beat everybody.
Oh, nice.
And It's funny, they measure them without their shoes on, and our 6'4" Sturts is 6'2.5".
That sounds about right.
And then Sturts did real good in the agility drills, and of course he does great in interviews. And if NBA teams are asking him about himself, and he says, "Well, I'm the best shooter in the draft." The other interesting thing from the NBA Combine is they do the standing vertical leap, and Wagler, the great guard at Illinois, him and Jennings Dunker are the same height, and they also have the same vertical jump.
Oh.
About 32.5 or 33, and Jennings Dunker weighs 330 pounds, and he weighs 185. So
he's not going to participate in the 5-on-5 games.
True.
Who? Sturts?
Sturts, yeah.
He has no reason to. He played 40 minutes a game this year, so.
Yeah, okay. Tohal says I'm late. I'll watch it from the beginning in a bit. Okay. Guys, I think we really need to leave it here. It's been a great show. I thank everybody. Don't forget that next Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Central, we're going to have Stacey May Johnson on, the head softball coach, live. And that's just the beginning. There's a guy named Terry Walker. I want to give him a shout out. He arranged this interview, and believe it or not, he's gone after. I got copied in on an email he sent to Ben McCollum. He's going after Ben. See if we can get Ben on the show. So I followed up and just said, yes, we would really like to have you. And he sent him a link to the show so he could see what we do. I don't know if that'll scare him off or not.
please, Terry Walker, get Tyler Barnes. I want to ask him some questions.
All righty. Yeah. Okay. So anyhow, I think that was great. Terry Walker, by the way, he's been on this show before, and he's a UCLA fan. So he's helping us Iowa
Mr.
people
UCLA.
out.
That's Mr. UCLA. He'll be glad I picked Chesney as the coach I picked. But I picked him over Kurt because he's 30 years younger.
That's right.
Hey, do you guys think we get some parents on? Cyhawk suggested getting some players' parents on.
Oh, God. I hope they don't hear some of our comments. Oh, Jesus.
Some of them are on here. Actually, one came in. I won't say it. I'll tell you guys off the air what happened.
Yeah, I know that. Oh, why does my brain not work anymore? Our favorite linebacker at Iowa, who I crowned as the best recruit in that class over Weiskopf and them, Cam Buffington.
Yeah.
His family, I send his family our pods all the time, and they comment back to me how much they love the way we promote Cam Buffington. And of course, Mr. Vanami, I send him our pod every day. And of course, he's on some of the sites, I think, where I send them to the sites too. So
yeah, they see him. Yeah, the parents are all over the place, the family members. One recruit's parent saw an episode of ours, and I don't know if they were on here baiting us or not, but I don't know if they did or not. But anyway, I'll tell you guys in private who I think it was.
What did they hint at or whatever?
I'll tell you later. I don't want to say it here on the air.
Huh?
All right, guys. Let's get out of here. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, leave some more comments,
Can I say one more thing?
share this thing. Okay.
I had my great research and I put it out there and I got it written down here.
What's that?
We got Joe Moore, right?
Yeah.
87 years old, right? We got
Yeah.
Kirk and
I thought it
Phil.
was Tom Moore. Tom Moore.
Tom Moore. We got Tom Moore, Kirk Ferentz, Phil Parker, and Jay Norvell. Their total number of coaching years, including this upcoming fall, for the four guys, 196 years.
That's a lot of football.
That comes out to an average of exactly 49. Tom Moore is like 65 or 6 years. Kirk is 51 years. And Jay, I think, is one more year than Phil. They were both seniors the same year in the Big Ten, but they're like 48 and 49 years each. So.
Cool. All righty. Now, can we get out of here?
Yeah, your legs need it.
Yeah. I've been doing well with them lately, but tonight they're just acting up. They always act up when I'm on this show. I don't know what it is.
We got done early tonight, so that's good.
Oh, yeah. No 2-hour show tonight. People are going to love us for this. We shorten the show.
See how many views Paul gets us.
Yeah. Paul get it. He's got all of his friends and buddies. They'll get them. Paul, don't forget to share it with everybody. Hey, by the way, I just realized you got a fade haircut.
What's that?
You got a fade haircut. I just realized that.
Oh,
looks more like an Army man haircut. That's a Marine haircut. You're a Navy man.
That's right.
Paul's gonna get us all the Jacksonville Jaguar viewers on here tonight.
Can't wait. Can't wait for football to start up again, and oh my gosh, all the stuff that's going to be happening, and I can't wait to see all the new players hit Iowa City. Okay, alrighty, guys, we'll see you Sunday night as usual, unless something happens that we can't make it.
Sounds good.
Go Hawks, guys! Thanks for being on the show tonight.